Okay, we are here at the UAW here in Warren, Michigan for the Redistricting Commission meeting that was just held here. And I've got with me two of the five commissioners. My name is Joseph Paul Javier, and our two commissioners here, we have Dr. Eid as well as Mr. Weiss. And we're here to tell our viewers here at Dragon Eagle TV exactly what this redistricting is about. So let's start over here with Mr. Weiss.
Well, basically, after the census in 2020, the numbers of individuals that now live in Michigan did increase, but didn't increase enough to afford us keeping one of our representatives in Washington, so we will go down to 13. So we are charged with now drawing all new district lines for congressional, state house, and state senate.
Okay, and we have Dr. Eid here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tougher question because a lot of our viewers here may not be familiar with what gerrymandering is, and this is one of the issues that this commission and you, the commissioners, are tasked with fixing here in Michigan. So could you please explain for our viewers here at Dragon Eagle TV exactly what gerrymandering is and what problems we're trying to fix here with these commissions?
Sure, yes. Well, I'm flattered, first off, but I'm not a doctor yet. I'm still in medical school, so give me a couple years.
Well, we'll both be doctors at the same time.
Exactly.
I'm in pharmacy school, you're in medical school
Wonderful.
here, but that's how you were introduced, so we're going to get used to it. So Commissioner, let's go with Commissioner Eid. Can you explain to us what gerrymandering is?
So gerrymandering is the practice of politicians drawing district maps that will then give themselves an advantage when it comes to being elected. That has historically happened in Michigan every redistricting cycle. That's different than the process that's currently happening. This is the first time in Michigan where an independent commission of regular everyday citizens are the people drawing the maps. And the hope is that because it's regular citizens drawing the maps will end up being more fair than what we've seen historically in our state.
Okay, so I remember in my sociology classes back when I was an undergrad, Detroit, or actually Michigan, is very famous when it comes to studying about gerrymandering. Everybody knows about 8 Mile. That's one of the lines that would separate people by race or by socioeconomic class. If you look at the 5 commissioners, it's a very diverse group of men and women that have been chosen to be commissioners. Could you explain to everyone exactly what the process was as to how you've become commissioners?
Okay, received either something in the mail or an email, and it was an application if you were interested in getting on the commission, which I filled it out, sent it in. You asked a bunch of questions on there, different things, and then had to get it notarized and sent it in, and I got picked. Never thought I would, but I did.
Well, it's a special kind of lottery here because you are making history, because every 10 years now, this commission will meet again. It'll convene and redraw the district lines to make sure that people here in our state are represented properly. Mr. Eid, you're one of the younger commissioners here. What do you think of the diverse makeup of the commission?
Well, I think it's, there's certainly some diversity. We have a diversity of ages. We have some people that are older, some people that are younger. We have a diversity of races as well. We have a few African Americans. We have myself of Middle Eastern descent. Diversity could always be better. However, I'm quite pleased with the makeup of the 13 members. I think we got a good group, and I think we're all working together well. And we're going to make it so all the different voices in our diverse state are represented.
All right, one last question, since I know you guys have to get going, but commissioners, is there a message that you can say to our Michiganders that do watch this? How can they help you or give their input so that the districts are made fairly and properly?
Well, of course, we got the portal, which you go to is michigan.gov, MICRC, and that will get you to the site, which you can post your public comment or a map, and even criticize or applaud us for what we've done so far, because it is a public forum on there, and you can read all the other stuff that other individuals have put on there and the maps.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with everything that my colleague here just said. You can also join us at our meetings. All of our meetings are live streamed on YouTube and Facebook, and we do have a public comment portion at those meetings. So feel free to join us, come watch, come give us your input on what you'd like to see about your community in the maps. And then finally, after we're done drawing a first draft of maps, we're going to go out in the community and hold 8 more public hearings. And that'll give the community a chance to let us know what they think about the work in progress so far.
Yeah, one other thing, if they're very interested in viewing the meetings, if you go in and sign up through the state, they will send you an email to remind you, and it will also have a line to click on that'll get you right to the meeting. So then you won't forget about it if you really wanted to see the meetings in place and action. And you can post public comment also.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Weiss and Commissioner Eid. Thank you for all the great work that you're doing to help our state. And here at Dragon Eagle TV, let's go look for some more people that are involved and have a stake here and see what they have to say about the Redistricting Commission. We have one more of the 5 commissioners here at the Redistricting Commission. We've got Commissioner Rawthorne here. Good afternoon, or good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
So we were just at the meeting earlier, and you were one of the most knowledgeable, at least the most eloquent, or the one that spoke the most, that answered the most questions of our constituents that talked about or asked about why are we doing this redistricting. So maybe you can explain to our viewers here at Dragon Eagle TV the importance of what you're doing.
The importance. Well, I suppose it's important because every 10 years we get this opportunity, and it's going to stick around for 10 years. And because we're in the first round, the first time, this is brand new, it is important, I suppose, to help us create that foundation that we'll build upon. 10 years from now, this will happen again, but this is the time that they'll look back to this moment when we're doing this together and trying to figure it all out together as citizens doing it together to create a fair process that's transparent, fair maps that in a transparent process.
For those that were tuned in earlier, we talked about with your colleagues the reason why addressing gerrymandering is important here, because we're dealing with divisions of socioeconomic class as well as race. One of the constituents earlier talked about the whole process and why we're redrawing the districts. How is redistricting going to address racial inequity?
How will redistricting address racial inequity? That's a great question. So I suppose what we know right now is that we are redistricting, not gerrymandering. So we recognize that this process that we're going through, which is transparent, is voters choosing their politicians with these political boundaries that we're going to map. And 10 years ago when this happened last, and 20 and 30 years ago when this happened, it was politicians choosing those voters rather than, and they were professionals. We're not professionals. And I suppose because the people are involved, and because, like your listeners and those out in TV land, gosh, I should say internet land, right? You all will help us actually recognize these new maps. You will give us the reasons that we're drawing these places. So if you give us your voice, we intend to put it on the map. We need you, right? The 13 of us, the 13 commissioners, I can't say that I want this map line here and that there's 12 other people who are going to say, well, I want it over here, right? We need your voice. And so the fairness that you all give us, if you help us understand why we should recognize your community, if you give us that, we will listen. We need you. We need your voice.
It is a complicated process, and it's a process that has been ongoing for several months now, from being chosen as one of the commissioners, meeting, there are 5 here at the meeting, there's 13 in total. How difficult is it working together to come up with these, to redraw these lines, and when do you plan to have these done?
Perhaps I should recognize that we had 4 commissioners and one of our staff. Edward Woods III is one of our staff, an excellent staff person, but we had 4 commissioners. So that would be the first part, and I apologize. The second part of your question, I missed it.
The second question will be, when will your job be done, and when will we find out the new lines of the districts?
So the census data is crucial to us drawing accurate maps. So the census data will be released sometime August, maybe September. We will have these maps in a draft form ready sometime in October, so we intend to give a draft form of the maps to the people, and we intend to do a second round of hearings, and we will have 8 of those public hearings where people will give us feedback on the 3 draft maps that we submit. So after October, sometime in November, we will submit those final maps.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll be looking in October to see exactly the fruits of your labor as well as your colleagues. Thank you very much, Commissioner Rawthorne. This is Joseph Paul Javier for Dragon Eagle TV.